I don't think I think people are stuck in boxing and framing the war like that. You know, a date certain of getting out of the war or staying in there until the government is stable. I think in countries all over the world that no matter whether we're there or not there, we're going to find governments that collapse. We're going to have unfriendly governments that come. That may be the case in Iraq. That's certainly been the case in other parts of the world. Look at Hamas and Palestine. You know, that's a democratically elected, unfriendly government. Just, are we going to go bomb them because they don't support our policies? So, you know, I think what we need to do is come up with the fastest plan possible of getting us out of Iraq, because there's no military objective and there's no political objective for us being there. And the sooner the better. I don't think it's smart to give a date certain to get out, but just get out. I personally will not vote for 1 penny to be spent to continue that war. Not 1 penny.
Yes, sir.
There is no doubt, and there should be no question about that we have got to end the war in Iraq. And we have got to bring our kids home, and we've got to take care of them and give them the care they deserve when they get here. I have a very specific plan for veterans health care that I have proposed that would make it convenient for them to get care in their hometowns. But the reason that we've got to is right now it is open-ended and it is bankrupting us. A large part of our deficit, which is a national security issue, is because of our war spending. So we must end the war in Iraq and bring our kids home, plain and simple. We can do that. Our generals are already telling us that we can. Our generals on the ground are already making plans to do that. So I think that the Congress should support a president that continues to work with the generals on the ground to bring our kids home. A responsible plan of withdrawal.
Troy, we hear a lot that the surge is working and that we fail now. Everything we've done up to this point will be for naught.
I think we need to look at some point we need to leave. I'm definitely, and I've said this before, I'm not set for, or not approving any set date where we say like July 31st we're withdrawing. But I think what was mentioned here tonight, we need to work towards leaving at some point, no long-term occupation. Recently we've heard the government of Iraq is considering setting a date, and if they would do that, I would definitely approve that. As far as funding our troops, our men and women, I'll never cut off our funds to hurt any of our troops, our men and women fighting. If they're in Iraq, we're going to make sure they've got money and weapons and guns and things to keep them there safe, no matter what. And when we pull out, they say
Mr. Crowley, I've heard from you on this.
My position has been that we shouldn't have been there to begin with. I believe today where we are, it is important for us in this war as soon as it's practical. And what I mean by that is it's important for us to have stability in the region. We need to make sure that our allies are engaged. We're creating a stability in the Middle East that's benefiting the entire world. They're not paying for it. And I don't believe that America needs to continue to be in that position. I tell you what else, it's disturbing to me. It's disturbing for our veterans to come home and have to wait in line for services. It's disturbing to find out that there are individuals who were veterans of Vietnam who now have a longer wait because we don't have adequate health care for our veterans. That's disturbing to me. Another thing that's very disturbing is to remember the stories about the businesses around central Missouri that were cutting out sheets of steel to send over there because our vehicles were not adequately equipped to protect them. We should never send our troops overseas without adequate equipment. I will say this to you. If I'm elected as your congressman, I will fight as hard for our veterans as they have fought for us, and they deserve every bit of that support from us, and I'll continue to work for that. The last thing I want to say is, while we are occupied in Iraq, our attention has been diverted away from Afghanistan. That's the place where we should have been focusing. We had a tremendous opportunity to drive a stake through the heart of Al-Qaeda. And we allowed ourselves to be distracted. And today, Afghanistan and the Pakistani border is erupting again. We have got to get our priorities on the international level back on track, just like we need America back on track. And today, as we sit here, we know that this election is about doing that very thing. Pulling this country back up by its bootstraps and getting it back to the traditions that it has held for years and years, of each generation working hard to keep this America strong and free, and passing on to its succeeding generation something greater than what it inherited. That's a tradition that we need to get back to, and if I'm elected as Congressman,